Good morning. This is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated Journato morning headlines on March 18, 2022. Belgian man accused of killing teacher he felt humiliated him in school. The Guardian, ex-pupil admits to killing teacher by stabbing her 101 times decades after humiliation at Belgium school. Boris Johnson open to attending European Council, says source. The Guardian, Boris Johnson seeks one-to-one talks with Biden on Ukraine war settlement. Disney staff stage walkouts over Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. The Guardian, Marvel strongly denounce controversial Don't Say Gay bill. NME, Disney workers stage daily walkouts to protest Don't Say Gay and demand protections for LGBT+ staff. The Independent, exposed, employees turn against CEO Bob Chapek, Disney's dark side. Small screen, Disney staff walk out over response to Don't Say Gay. U.S. House backs removal of most favored trade status for Russia, Belarus. Reuters.com, 8 Republicans vote against suspending trade relations with Russia. The Independent, House votes to end Russia's favored trade status with U.S. Bloomberg, U.S. Senate to promptly pass bill revoking Russia preferential trade status. Senator Schumer. Reuters.com, House votes to further restrict Russian trade after invasion. Bank of England warns the inflation squeeze on homes will get worse. Sky News, Bank of England warns inflation could breach 8%, raises rates, condemns Russia's invasion of Ukraine, as it happened. The Guardian, Britain faces double-digit inflation for first time in 40 years with prices set to soar. Daily Mail, there is a rising risk that central banks get it wrong, global inflation climbs. The Economist, interest rate hiked. Bank of England warns inflation squeeze will get worse as Ukraine war drives up energy prices. Nancy Pelosi marks St. Patrick's Day with poem by Bono about Ukraine. Slovakia says willing to provide Ukraine S-300s if NATO fills gap. Reuters.com, Slovakia will send Ukraine S-300 air defenses immediately if NATO backfills its weapons. The Washington Post, Slovakia preliminarily agrees to send key air defense system to Ukraine. Russian troops running out of food and fuel as offensive falters, says UK military intelligence. The Independent, daring Ukrainian ambushes bring Russia's war machine to standstill. The Times, Russia suffering heavy losses as they face sustained Ukraine resistance, says Britain. Evening Standard, how many tanks Russia has lost in Ukraine and what we know about Putin's armored losses. Ukraine war, indiscriminate attacks on outskirts of Kyiv strike terror through communities and generate terrible horror. Shells rain down on Kharkiv as Ukraine's army stands firm. What are the kamikaze switchblade drones US is sending to Ukraine? The Independent, Ukraine-Russia evening briefing, 5 developments as Joe Biden sends Kyiv unprecedented weapons aid. The Telegraph, US gives kamikaze switchblade drones to Ukrainian defenders. The Times, a look at the military assistance the US is giving Ukraine. The Independent, US to send armed drones to Ukraine following Zelensky's plea for help. Child, 13, driving pickup truck in crash that killed 9 in Texas. Sky News, 13-year-old was driving truck that struck van and killed 9 in Texas. Metro.co.uk, child, 13, was driving pickup that hit USW Golf Team bus, killing 6 in head-on crash in Texas. Daily Mail, explainer, driver in Texas crash was 13. Is that legal? Cobb, Texas crash victims included new students just branching out. Russian journalist who staged anti-war TV protest quits job, but rejects French asylum offer. The Guardian, journalist who protested war on Russian TV remains defiant after arrest. It was impossible to stay silent. The Independent, Marina Ovsyannikova to stay in Russia despite safety fears after protest. The Times, Marina Ovsyannikova broke the state propaganda machine. Others will follow. The Guardian, Russian journalists are quitting state-run media after editor flashed anti-war sign live on air. Arnold Schwarzenegger speaks candidly about Nazi father as he makes plea to Russia amid Ukraine invasion. The Independent, Arnold Schwarzenegger tells Putin to stop this war. The Telegraph, Arnold Schwarzenegger tells Russian troops in Ukraine he does not want him to be broken like his father who fought for Nazis. Sky News, Arnold Schwarzenegger appeals to Russian people to reject Kremlin misinformation. The Guardian, Arnold Schwarzenegger invokes his broken Nazi father as he tells Russian soldiers Putin lied to you. Ukraine war, families in port city of Odessa prepare for Russian advance as battleships lurk off coast. Sky News, Russia planning lightning advance to encircle Ukrainian army and claim victory. The Telegraph, Fortress Odessa, city falls silent as fearful residents await Russian advance. Ukraine war, Joe Biden to warn Xi Jinping China will face costs if it helps Russia. The Guardian, Joe Biden to warn Xi Jinping of U.S. retaliation if China acts to support Russia. Financial Times, Biden and Xi to meet for talks on Russia-Ukraine crisis. The Independent, China's decisive turning point. Will it side with Russia and divide the world? The Guardian, Blinken worried China will give military aid to Russia. Russia pulls UN vote on Ukraine over arm-twisting claims. Reuters.com, Russia won't ask UN Council vote on its Ukraine resolution. The Independent, live updates, Zelensky mum on specifics of new US aid. The Associated Press, En Español, UN. Security Council to vote Friday on Russia move on Ukraine. Reuters.com, UN Security Council meeting again Thursday to debate Ukraine. Ukraine war, Russian ambassador to UN denies Putin's forces bombed Mariupol theater as he hits out at so many fakes. Sky News, Mariupol theater, we knew something terrible would happen. BBC, Russia attacks theater sheltering civilians in besieged city of Mariupol, BBC News. BBC News, Russia's war in Ukraine, complete guide in maps, video and pictures. The Guardian, Russian airstrike appeared to target civilian building in Mariupol, cleverly. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.